Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the BXR Podcast. Today, we're joined by our special guest, Nade Straight. He's going to tell us all about everything. He actually knows everything about life, so he's just going to talk the entire time, and we're all going to take like a little power nap. So it's going to be a good podcast. Kevin couldn't make it. He's a busy boy. He didn't want to hear me complain about Halo Infinite. He told me that he loves it too much. So
you do get really angry about Halo Infinite.
He unfortunately couldn't make it today. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a good podcast. So I figured before we hop into anything, Nade, I think everyone knows everyone else here. So why don't you say hello, tell the peeps who you are, what you do, all the good stuff.
Yeah, so Nade Straight is what I go by online. I'm currently developing a third-person shooter called Cross Planet, which is very much inspired by Halo, with elements of like Quake, Unreal Tournament, stuff like that in there as well. I've been doing it for 2.5 years. Before that, I QA tested for Splitgate and did their weapon skins for a while, and that's how I got my start in the industry, and then moved on to doing my own thing. So, yeah.
There you go. I did not realize that you worked on Splitgate, dude. Even more talking topics. Yeah. This is great.
Short period, about 6 months, not too long.
Cool. All right, well, we can hop in then. So when in the life of Splitgate did you work on Splitgate?
Like right before the peak is what I would say.
Okay.
So I started doing QA testing for them. Well, I QA tested really early on when they had like their original beta, like the 2018 and 2019 beta on PC. And then I came back after the full release, QA tested for a while. And then, yeah, kind of like maybe 2 months before the peak, I started doing weapon skins for them because I just self-taught in Blender, just purely out of interest. And they said, yeah, like some of the designs you've come up with are really good. They sent me a contract basically like a week later, and then there you go, you're part of the team. And then, as we all know, it kind of blew up. And then, yeah, after it kind of, calmed down a bit, decided I wanted to do my own thing. And that's how I ended up with Cross Planet. Got a little bit of experience from Splitgate and stuff. Plus, I went to college for game design. I did drop out, so if anyone wants any kind of, what would you call it? I was gonna say like like the to-do list. Drop out of college, go and QA test for another company, and then start your own thing. That's how you do this.
You're very close to becoming a Halo YouTuber.
Successful.
He does. He makes Halo YouTube videos. He's already there.
Oh,
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
He's already there.
That's it.
So, what do you do exactly on Cross Planet? Because I guess I don't fully know your role with the team.
Yeah. I'm listed as one of the founders, which is like me, Andre, and Cliff, are like the three guys that started it. And we're like the jack of all trades, master of none, is what we do. So I'll do the UI. I'll chip in with level design. I'll do the social media, the marketing, and stuff like that, and all our video production stuff. And then I'll occasionally just dip my feet in like, sound design and things like that as well. So it's kind of a very all hands on deck. Everyone, has a piece in the puzzle because it's a very, very small team. So that's how it's got to be in indie. You've all got to kind of chip in where you can, because we don't have a huge budget and things to go and hire, the hundreds of people that big studios have to do, tasks like per person. We just kind of dive in and learn as we go. We all started with basically zero game dev experience besides my time at Splitgate, obviously, and then with college. Andre and Cliff were I don't know the exact terminology, but they basically worked in the programming field with vehicles and aircraft, which is a weird one. And then they kind of learnt Unity and stuff and moved into game design. So we all come from different kind of walks of life and things and just band together. And the team just grows. You get people that play tests, people that see our YouTube videos, and they just message saying, this looks interesting. Can I help you with this passion project? And you slowly end up with all these people that are, joining and helping out. So it's pretty good fun.
That's cool. So what inspired the decision to make like a third-person arena shooter? Because obviously, in the genres of games, I wouldn't say those are the most hopping these days.
Yeah, I mean, especially those two combined. I actually did a little bit of research the other day, and there is 0 upcoming third-person arena shooters on Steam, besides us. So it's an incredibly niche market, but you wouldn't think so because obviously you say shooter games these days, and everybody's like, that is the most saturated genre of games you could have possibly dove into. But the combination of third-person and arena is just non-existent. So it's actually a very niche game. We arrived at that decision because Andre, the dev, posted a really short video on Facebook in December of 2020, I think, of his like really low poly shooter that was in space. And originally, his goal was to create a game where you kind of flew from planet to planet, discovered different biomes, killed different kinds of like aliens and things like that, and it had very much a Halo style to it. So that's where the name Cross Planet came from. The original game was very, very different. And then slowly we just kind of, worked more towards, I was going to say an easier project rather than doing like a huge open world traveling between planets. But in retrospect, creating a AAA level video game as a small studio is also a pretty big task. So yeah, it's gone through several stages of its life, but we arrived at a third-person arena shooter simply because at the time we thought it would be easier than an open world game, which is what it was set out to be in the beginning. Of course, we've all played things like Halo and Unreal Tournament, Quake. A couple of devs played like Battlefield and stuff. So we just kind of throw in bits and pieces of our childhood and create this mashup. That's what we want Crossplanet to be, as ultimately just a mashup of everything that we like from multiple games. I think that's quite evident, especially with the comments we get on like social media and things. There's a lot of like, which we don't mind either when we get this stuff, but there's a lot of, you guys just made Halo but third person, or you guys remade Section 8 Prejudice is the one that I see a lot. We don't care.
That's the game that was coming to mind. I couldn't remember the name of it. It did remind me of that a little bit, yeah. Just visually, how it looks.
Dude, that's a throwback. I remember that was on the 360, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't actually remember it, but I remember. I have a vague memory of me playing that video game, but I don't remember really what it was. But no, that's cool, man. What would you say is like one of the hardest parts about indie game dev?
If I have to pick one, because there's many.
I'm sure.
If it's to pick one, it's probably the feeling of potential burnout. It's the number one thing that kills indie games. I think the stats show that like 81% of indie games don't even make it to full release because the team just gets burnout because you have a project in mind, it keeps growing, you keep on adding things to it, and it becomes way too big for the small team you have. So you're going to kind of like keep yourselves in check, stay very organized, and plan this entire journey and make sure that you can actually finish this product. So the hardest thing is just not getting too like big for our boots. Essentially, is recognizing we are indie, and although there's many things we'd like to do, we have to kind of contain this into something that's doable. So besides from that, money would be nice because games cost a lot of money to make. But yes.
What is the planned monetization model for Cross Planet, or has that not been decided yet?
I think it's pretty much decided for us at this stage. Shooter in general is going in the free-to-play direction, but I personally like it. Some people, we have the controversy with controversial messages from people saying like, oh, well, you're going to have a store, you're going to have tons of microtransactions, you're going to have FOMO, stuff like that. But I think that at the end of the day, if a game is free and you can have the willpower to not throw your wallet at the screen, you can have a really fun, enjoyable experience completely for free, which is, it's a good thing to have. And also having a free video game opens the doors to tons of users for us because, there's no barrier to entry. The only thing you need is a machine that can run it. So it allows us to, have a lot more players than we would if we were a paid title. So that's mainly the reasoning. It's the way the industry is going, and hopefully it results in more users. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it all right if I jump in real quick?
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, how long has Cross Planet been in development, and at what point during the development process did you shift from the original vision for the game to the third-person arena shooter?
Yeah, so we've been in development for about 2 years and 6 months. I actually think it might be exactly 2 years and 6 months to this day. Um, and then it didn't take long to shift from the original idea to what we have now. I'd probably say within the first 2 months we shifted, because we quickly realized that in order to be the big scale game that we wanted with the traveling between the planets and things, we had to keep the game's visual fidelity very, very simple. So it would have been a very low poly blocky shooter. I came on board as an artist guy with a background in graphic design, UI, UX, and a little bit of modeling experience, and basically pitched the idea of I can make your game look AAA. So that's when we decided if it's going to look good, we have to kind of strip back, the scope of this thing. So that was the decision. Basically, it didn't take long.
Right, that makes sense. And and it's good to make a decision like that, early on. You said 2 months in, so
Yeah.
What would you say is kind of the rationale behind not going with the low poly, less graphically intense style of game? Because obviously there's a game recently that's popping off doing that, but I feel like there's a track record in general that, especially in the indie world, not as many people care as much about graphics as long as the game is fun.
Yeah. In retrospect, it would have been kind of cool, especially because you mentioned there is a game recently, BattleBit, that did incredibly well. I'm amazed at how well that game has done, especially because it's a paid product as well. I would have never expected them to, achieve what they have. I think they have 64,000 concurrent right now, which is insane. So in retrospect, it could have been a cool idea. But we're all people who play AAA titles. We like the challenge of trying to compete with AAA names, big studios, things like that. So that's basically just the reason is, it was a choice of we want this thing to look really nice visually, and we want to compete with some of the big names, which is a very daunting task, and many have tried and failed. But hopefully we can be the ones to do it. So maybe some other time we'll make a low poly shooter as well.
Right. And although there are some people that don't care that much about graphics, and as long as the game's fun, that's what matters to them most. But there's also people that definitely just will stay away from a game if it doesn't look good. So you have those people as well.
Yeah, I mean, you literally said.
A lot.
Oh, sorry, Nate. Yeah, I was gonna say
BHB. We used to get a lot of comments about the graphics. So yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say BHB. You literally told me earlier that BattleBit's graphics kind of has turned you off. So
yeah, and it's mainly the Roblox look. It's not just that the graphics are low poly. It's just it looks like Roblox. That blocky style I don't like. Personally.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think obviously BattleBit's doing very, very well, but I think it's gonna constantly have to fight constantly just being called Roblox Battlefield. But obviously it's doing well enough that I think it's kind of ascending past that. But when it was first coming out, everyone's like, "Oh, is this Roblox? Actually Roblox?" And you're like, "No, it's a video game. It's on Unity. It's not on Roblox." Blah blah blah.
There was that other Roblox game that took off, right? The COD clone.
Oh yeah, that actually was a Roblox game. What was that one called?
I don't remember. I
can't remember.
I don't either, but it was the movement-y MW19 basically in Roblox.
But I'm just saying, it might not be a bad thing if your game's called Roblox Battlefield. Those are two recognizable brands.
Very true. Very true.
People know what they get into, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fair. When's what are we aiming for to put out? Because obviously, I know you guys have done some play tests. I got to play it a little bit. Jared, have you played Cross Planet?
Yeah, remember we all played it together.
Oh, yeah, we all played it together. See, there you go.
And to me, I had a pretty good time with it. The movement, the ability the way you're able to jump and strafe and shoot. it's something you don't see in a lot of games at that kind of level of movement. And I really liked it because it made 1v1s interesting while we were playing it. And it's one of those things, obviously, we played it early. There's still a lot of polishing to obviously go, but I think there's a lot of potential with the game because just like, you said, it's just a genre that you just don't see. You don't see a third-person arena shooter. And I've actually always preferred third-person shooters over FPS because I think it's just cool being able to see your character, that you're actually using out on this battlefield while you're fighting other people, and just seeing that kind of level of detail in that character just kind of shine while you're popping off is just really cool to me. So I'm all for this. I'm always open to a good third-person shooter, and I mean, there's just none around, I mean, Gears of War is off in the dumpster dying somewhere, so it's nice to have a change of pace for once with something like this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the only game I can kind of recall that would be a third-person arena shooter is Gears. So we do look at Gears as well sometimes for some sources of inspiration. But it's just kind of a dying genre. So much so that I can't go into many details, but I can tell you that we were in talks with a publisher, and they messaged us recently saying we decided to not do a deal with you guys simply because the game is too niche and the genre isn't what the industry is kind of shifting towards. Publishers at the moment are very much pushing extraction shooters as the next big thing. And I've known about that genre for the past 1 year, 6 months before everybody started doing it, because we've had people ask us to try and shift into that as well. So we are just making something that isn't very it's not very saturated. It is very much a niche genre.
So what I'm hearing is once Crossplanet comes out, I should respond to all the tweets asking when the extraction shooter game mode is coming out.
Probably, yeah, that's what we're gonna get. It's either gonna be that or Battle Royale. Sure.
Yeah.
Or we'll get campaign. We're already getting tweets. Are you guys doing campaign for this? Yeah, sure. Let us just stick around until 2030. We'll get it done eventually.
I don't think people realize
It'll
how much
come out
work
before Elder
a
Scrolls
fucking
6.
campaign is, dude. That's not if you're already doing a multiplayer as a small team, you can't just tack a campaign on top. All the people that used to say that about Splitgate, why doesn't Splitgate have a campaign? It's
yeah.
Well, I mean, now they have a team that could do a campaign if they wanted, but when that game came out, they most certainly did not.
Yeah.
But well, cool, man.
I like the idea of doing a campaign or something, but there's currently basically zero lore to the project either. We'd have to come up with all that stuff, and that alone takes months to create. For a small team like us trying to accomplish a campaign, you probably would be looking at a ridiculous release date of 5 to 6 years from now. So it's just it's too big of a task. So.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. I mean, Crossplanet sounds fun. Obviously, I played a little bit, had a good time. I'm excited to play more whenever it comes out next. So it was fun talking about it a little bit, but
I can tell you that there will be a playtest in the next 8 weeks. So
that's exciting. There you go. Does anyone have any other Crossplanet related questions? Otherwise, we'll just start talking about random stuff. Perfect. All right, random stuff it is. All right, so I'm going to be honest. I meant to do my homework and watch the Nintendo Direct, and I choked, and I forgot. So, Jared, I know you watched it. So just talk about some Nintendo Direct stuff for a little bit, and I'll sit here.
All right. Hey, no problem. So ignore everything that happened in the Direct. It's completely worthless. Hopefully my internet's not shitting the bed right now because this is very important to me. I hope you guys can hear me. But this game right here, if you can even see it through the terrible camera, Super Mario RPG is getting a goddamn remake, and I am fucking excited about this because this is one of the top 5 greatest RPGs that have ever blessed this earth, and it was so revolutionary when it came out. It was ahead of its time with graphics, and this game, it's just a pop culture phenomenon back then because it has so many references to so many things in the world. You got Bruce Lee references, you got Power Ranger references, and it's such a unique turn-based experience, just from the combat to just the mini games in the game, and just the way the whole game is just laid out. The story is actually good in it, and it just progresses nicely from the start to the end because and one of the coolest things about the story is Bowser's not the bad guy, which is very rare in Mario games. It's a man named Smithy who is basically like out to, the usual stuff, take over the world, steal the stars. But like all of the main bosses and enemies you fight, since his name is Smithy, he smiths them out of like metal and stuff. So all of the main bosses are usually like they'll be like based off of a sword, a spear, and all of these cool like designs. And it was just such a cool experience. And obviously, this game came out before Square Enix was Square Enix. They were just Square. They were like a separate company. So it's like this weird, rare time where they were just like coming out with all of these really great games. And it's just a game no one ever thought would ever get remade because it's just like it was just a mess. It's like, does Nintendo own the rights? Does Square Enix own the rights? Like, what's going to happen to all these characters? And now with them remaking this, which to me this is one of the biggest announcements ever to me. Like this is just a remake that should have never happened, and it's happening. And the fact that it's just coming out in November, that just absolutely blows me away. And like it's just I could talk about this game for like 20 hours. Like I was so excited about it. I kicked my wall. I don't know. Shit was happening in this room I can't even talk about. I was so freaking excited about this, but yeah, it's a very special game, and like I said, the gameplay is very unique. Like you'll be in a boss battle with his name's Boa or whatever in the forest, and like he'll shoot arrows, and it will disable buttons on your controller you can't use, and it just done cool stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm excited to see if all the same mechanics carry over, because from everything I've seen, this game is pretty much a one-to-one remake. Like nothing looks different, it just looks updated. So minus the cutscenes. The cutscenes are obviously fully animated now from the trailer, but yeah, I'm excited about this. And there was other stuff during the Nintendo Direct, like there's a new 2D Mario game called Super Mario Wonder, which looks interesting. It's like there's flowers and stuff you can grab, and all of the like worlds turn twisted, so warp pipes will start crawling and weird shit like that would happen. And then Nintendo also announced a game for Princess Peach, which no one ever thought would ever happen either. So that was kind of cool. And then obviously there's like Pokemon DLC and all the usual shit you would expect from Nintendo. But I don't know, Nintendo Direct was, I don't know, it's my favorite one of the year. I'm just gonna say it because of obviously one game, but they did a good job for 40 minutes and just coming out of nowhere to do it. So I'd say Nintendo had pretty much a big debut this year with this Direct. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
When did the original Super Mario RPG come out?
It
What year
came
was
out in 1992, I believe,
Jesus.
if I remember.
Wow.
And yeah, this was the first game I played and beat when I was 4 years old. So
Oh,
I
was gonna say, I guess
fucking-
that's why I never heard of it. Okay. Wow.
yeah, it's old, and it's never been re-released on like any of the newer Nintendo systems. Like to even just play the old one, like this is the first time ever outside of emulation you can play it. So as far as I know, anyways. So
Yeah, I
pretty
saw
cool.
the tweet announcing it got a lot of traction, so people are definitely excited about it.
I mean, from the trailer, it looks sick. So like, I think I was telling you this, Jared. The only Mario RPG I ever played was like the Paper Mario game, and I love that game. So I don't know. This
Yep,
looks this looks up my alley.
yeah, and Paper Mario is like the spiritual successor to this. Like that was their way to continue it, but this is the best, hands down.
That's fair. I saw, speaking of, well, it's not an RPG, but speaking of Mario turn-based games, you guys remember the Mario Rabbids Ubisoft game that came out like last year? I saw that Ubisoft came out, like the CEO said that Nintendo told them to wait for the next console and they didn't, and they're sad they didn't wait. Like, good job, Ubisoft. 10 out of 10 performance. They're like, shit, guys, this didn't sell enough. We probably should have listened to Nintendo.
Hey, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Gotta listen to the company that runs their business well when you're Ubisoft.
Yeah, you don't say.
Ubisoft is
Yeah, they make some interesting decisions. I will say, so I didn't play the newer Mario Rabbids game, but the first one is like actually really good because I picked it up because I like XCOM, and I was like, oh, this is like a Mario fucking XCOM game. It's actually legitimately pretty fun. I probably should pick up the second one eventually. I'll just wait till it's like on sale or something. Like buy it dirt cheap at a GameStop for $1 or something when it's in the fucking bin. But no, it seemed pretty fun. All right. Any other Nintendo Direct related things? Like I said, I didn't watch it, so I don't know. Nate, do you care about Nintendo stuff?
I didn't watch the full thing, but I watched like a summary video. I saw that there's a new Detective Pikachu as well. I didn't play the first one, but that's coming out. And then there's new Pikmin stuff. And there was something else in there. Was there some like Metal Gear stuff in there as well?
Yeah, the Metal Gear collection is like coming to the Switch, so it's kind of interesting for Metal Gear fans that want something on the go.
Oh, that's on the Switch? Wow.
Yep.
I did not
I
know
know.
that. That's big.
Will it run well on the
HP's
Switch?
already.
Well, it'll be like
No.
the old Won't it be like the old 360 HD versions?
All right, so hopefully.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it might run at 15
All
FPS.
I saw the
all the Batman
Arkham.
Arkham games.
Yeah, the Arkham trilogy is coming to the Switch now. Now is that gonna run well on a Switch? I guess
give it 20.
those ran at 30 FPS, didn't they? So maybe you can get it at 30 FPS on the Switch. One of them I just remember was
Movies
fucked
only
on
run at
PC.
24.
Ah, yeah, you're
so-
right. That's right. The Switch should just be
The
a
Switch
movie
only needs
console.
24.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. That's a good point. All right, well, fair enough. I think that is the Nintendo Direct. Why don't we talk about? We mentioned it a little bit when we were talking about Cross Planet, but I have been playing a ton of BattleBit, and I absolutely love it. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to play it. Chat. I mean, you're watching my stream, so I'm sure you've caught the like 7 BattleBit streams that we've done. But if for some reason you didn't catch any of the BattleBit streams, like we said, I mean, it's basically, Roblox Battlefield, but this game it's so fun. Like for a dev team of 3 people, I have no clue how they made a game this good. Obviously it has like some rough parts around, or like some rough spots. Like it's not perfect or by any means, but it has like a ton of maps. It has like a fair amount of game modes. The gunplay feels really good. Obviously, like Nate said, it literally probably runs on like a graphing calculator. Like the game is like buttery smooth. Mouse input feels great. The movement isn't like overly complex, but it feels pretty good. And some of the guns are probably unbalanced, but like overall, it's kind of one of those like larger scale games where it doesn't really matter. I've been enjoying the prox chat is so much fun. You can like just talk to anyone that's around you, even the enemies. So it's a really good time, and obviously it's popping off on Steam.
Say. I've heard some things in that prox chat on your stream, Rash. I've heard some things.
In BattleBit, there was one. There was one racist moment.
The best part is,
there's that.
See, but that's the best part. It lets everyone know when they get banned for racism.
It does. In the corner,
I
it
love
constantly says blah blah, like X person has been banned for racism. It is constant.
Does it really?
Yeah, you know when someone got booted for being racist. But yeah, it's $15. So I think probably the only other person here that played is Jared. So Jared, what do you think about BattleBit?
Well, outside of buildings collapsing on me and me teleporting around, I think it's a pretty smooth experience. I wish it had full controller support because obviously
it has like none.
None. I'm more of a controller. You know what does? Cross planet. But anyways, I like a little controller support, obviously, because I'm not the best on mouse and keyboard. But in terms of just smoothness, it is an incredibly smooth game. And I'm definitely going to put a lot of hours into this because it's this easy game to just jump on and just have fun on and not take serious. Like, just chill with some people and just like, enjoy yourself, which is something you just don't get in a lot of games anymore because of skill-based matchmaking and all of that stuff.
That is the best part. It is just good casual like shooter fun. The only time that I'm not having fun in this game is some of the maps get a little stalematey. Like there's one map that's a giant bridge, and sometimes you'll just spend 20 minutes trying to get across the bridge, and that can get a little boring. But for the most part, you just kind of run around and like do your own thing, try and work with your teammates a little bit. But yeah, it's not overly sweaty or anything like that, which is very refreshing. Obviously, it doesn't really have any type of SBMM because it has matchmaking technically, but the matchmaking just throws you into the server browser, so it doesn't have like true true matchmaking. You stay in lobbies from game to game, although the only people you'd really talk to that would stay like the same would be people in your squad. Unless you're just like following people around trying to make friends. But no, it's a good time. They're already coming out with a new map next week, which is insane to me. The game just came out. They're already dropping new content. I will say it probably helps when your graphics look like this, because this is probably almost the equivalent of putting out a block out for a map. Like there's probably not, when you put out like a normal shooter map, right? You have to do block out, do a little testing, and then do like all the art. I have to imagine the art for these probably doesn't take too long. So you can probably crap out some maps. But yeah, no, it's a ton of fun. I'm very interested to see if it continues like the hype, like if it'll continue to be as big on Steam as it is, or if it's just going to be one of those fads that kind of falls off after a month or two.
What was the population looking like last time you checked?
It was like 60K. Here, we can look at it right now. Let's see what it's at today.
I think its peak is 64K, unless it's gone up since. I checked it earlier on.
All right, we're pulling it up. It's coming. All right, today, 64K. The 24 hour is so it's.
And what is the newest
solid.
Battlefield at? 2040 go?
Like
How many
less than
players
10K.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love that a game that looks like that has that many more players.
Yeah, this had a peak today of 9,500. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wish Halo had that.
It just shows the graphics on everything.
Yeah, I will say I think it helps BattleBit that Battlefield is down bad. Otherwise, that would probably be a lot harder. I have seen people complaining that BattleBit's like too milsimmy and not Battlefieldy enough, but it's like, then just go play Battlefield and like the game still exists. It's not like it's shut down. Like Battlefield's still very much playable. It's just not mega huge. So if you prefer Battlefield, because the time to kill in Battlefield's a little bit longer, you know, it's more arcadey than BattleBit, because BattleBit has like the bleeding system and the mag system where it's got like little milsim elements here and there, because the devs took some inspiration from like Squad and stuff, they said. So there's like little features that are milsimmy, but I think overall it's I don't know, they don't bother me, but I've seen some Battlefield YouTubers on Twitter complaining about them, so they should probably play Battlefield. That's all I have to say about that. But no, it's a ton of fun. I just don't know. I just wonder how long it'll stay big. I mean, at this rate, it's holding strong. So I don't know. There's another game that looks just like this called Unturned or whatever. That's been huge on Steam forever, and it literally just looks like this. So maybe this is just Unturned 2.0. That was also made by like one dude or some shit. So
ironically, I saw that game on Steam today while I was browsing.
it's a lot like this, except that one has like the servers have mod support. So originally it was like a survival-y game, but it turned into all sorts of stuff because it just depends on what the server.
Unturned was like a DayZ clone, right?
Yeah, it was like a DayZ clone that looked like Roblox. But then today you can just play lobbies that are like TDM, or you can play like there's all sorts of stuff. It just depends. But that game is also.
I think BattleBit will last the test of time. I think because it's so easy to run, you've got basically anyone can play this. And people who have lower end machines, and especially people in like countries that don't have, you know, the PC power to play the AAA games today, they will play this for the next 2-3 years of their life. I think it will last that long, because they will just rinse a game for that long. Because not many devs cater to that audience these days. So when a game does come out that they can play, they'll just play it forever. So I think I think it will last like 2-3 years.
I will say, with you saying that, it makes me think like I'm surprised in my lobbies I haven't heard more kids, because like the with what you're saying there, it reminds me when I played the like Halo Roblox game and stuff, and you get on and it's like a bunch of kids, or when you play Krunker, that's another game that looks like this, but it's all kids. So I'm actually surprised. Do the kids just not find this yet, or do they just not use the mic in game? Because I haven't heard a single kid, but as I'm thinking about that, I'm like, oh, like kids on their like shitty Chromebooks from school and stuff could play this. But it does cost $15. It's not free to play, so maybe that's what's holding them back. So
there you go. That's the recipe.
You just have to put a slight price.
Look poly. Yeah.
But no, it's a ton of fun. All right, well, that's Battle Bit. BHB, Mr. Pop Q2, you've been playing X Defiant. I haven't had a chance to get into this beta, but why don't you tell us how's X Defiant feeling these days? How do you feel about it?
Well, so far I've been enjoying it. It's a fun game. I played the I think it was the alpha. I played the closed session and then the current open session. And yeah, I think it's a fun game. I don't think it's nothing to write home about, but it's just fun, and a fun shooter, fun multiplayer shooter is hard to come by these days. So I'm enjoying it. It might look kind of generic when you watch it, but it is fun to play. And the two things that I would criticize is, one, the time to kill. I think the time to kill is kind of fast. I mean, you can just get absolutely melted by some of the guns, and I prefer a longer time to kill in games. The other thing I don't like, and this is the same thing I don't like about all these games that have different characters, is the abilities. I'm not a fan of that. I would like it more without the abilities, and there's some pretty egregious abilities in this game, like some of the ultimates. Like there's a guy who has like a bubble shield with a turret, and he can shoot out of it, but you can't shoot in it. There's one chick that can just run around a corner and heal real quick. The Splinter Cell guy gets wall hacks and like a one-shot pistol. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the abilities, but gunplay's solid, movement's solid. The maps look really cool, which is very refreshing after playing Modern Warfare 2022, which has absolutely horrible maps aesthetically and the layout of them. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it, and I'll probably enjoy it more at launch when I can play ranked. So yeah.
Yeah, I played a bit of ranked in the last playtest. Did you play that at all?
I think I did. Is ranked in this one? Am I just stupid?
No, it's not currently, from at least what I saw on your stream. But last time they added it toward the end, and it was the only thing you could play. But it was also kind of scuffed because like you couldn't queue with people, and I played like a handful of matches, and since it was the only thing you could play, it was like absolute bots. But I had fun.
Right. Yeah.
But Nate, I know you've been playing. I saw you've been playing at least a little bit of X Defiant. How do we feel about it?
Yeah. Pretty much the same. I think the map design is really good. And it gives me like Black Ops vibes. I'm not sure if you feel the same, but it kind of reminds me of like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, kind of mixed with maybe like a bit of Overwatch in there. I'm the same. I don't like the abilities and stuff. I feel like that's overused in games today. I would prefer they just go like full on classic arena shooter. And I think that's why it's so attractive as well, is because it's like a return to form Call of Duty. COD these days isn't really COD, and people enjoy this because it reminds them of what COD used to be.
It's more arcade.
I hopped in, I played for like 2 hours, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically how I feel about it. I mean, same things. I like you said, Pop Q. I wouldn't. There's not like a map I could point out and be like, this map is amazing. But I just love that the maps are in like cool places and they have color on them. And that does, like Nate said, that it gives me Black Ops vibes. It reminds me of like in Black Ops when you'd play in a fucking skate park or and stuff like that. But they still like found a way to make it fun maps. But you had actually cool, locales instead of just war-torn desert town that looks brown.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So I love that. I'm excited for it to come out. I haven't had any time to play it this beta for very sad reasons, so we'll talk about that later. Yeah, what am I doing with my life? But yeah, so what makes some predictions? How do we, when this comes out, is it actually going to put up a fight against COD? Is it going to become that COD killer that's just dead in 4 months or whatever? What do we actually think it's going to do?
I mean, I don't think it's a COD killer. I mean, it's going to be hard to kill COD. A game that even if a game is 10 times better than COD, it's going to be hard to kill COD because people are just going to buy Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty, and that's just like the way it is. I do think it'll be kind of niche. I don't think it'll be anything huge, but yeah, hopefully it retains, somewhat of a player base, and hopefully it just doesn't die right away. I don't think it will, but we'll see.
Yeah. That's fair. Luke, what do you think? I don't know if you've played much X Defiant, but how do you think
I
it's
played
gonna
it
do?
like the very first closed alpha, and I thought it was absolute dog shit, but I also hate Black Ops 4. Because I think that's the worst Call of Duty. Anyways, I don't know, dude. It's a Ubisoft game. They only had one shooter that stuck around, out of the fucking billion things they tried. So like, we'll see.
It's kind of like Siege. You have all the abilities.
Yeah, but Siege is the only one that like. No, Siege is not like this.
I know.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Ubisoft keeps trying to stick shooters at the wall, like the whole Ghost Recon rework, the Division and shit like that.
Dude,
and none of that really took off, or Watch Dogs or whatever.
Watch Dogs is more of an open worldy Ubisoft game than a shooter.
But like it's a shooter still.
It has shooting.
I mean, like they obviously tried competing with GTA there.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
They had to try and compete with COD. We'll see. I mean, Ubisoft has, in my eyes, one game that kind of stuck around with players, and even that game is only recently coming back because of one entertaining guy. So I don't know. We'll see. I think it has potential, even though I don't like playing it. But it does look very nice. I agree with all the map stuff. Even back then, when I played it, I don't know, it was like 2-3 years ago. I don't remember the date. But like, even then, they had like colorful maps, and they look very nice. So maybe I can make it stand out a little bit.
Yeah, Jared, how are we feeling about X Defiant?
I mean, I haven't played it yet. I want to play it. It just like all of you said, it reminds me a lot of Black Ops in so many ways. But I don't know. I think it's going to do pretty well because people are kind of on the COD hate train right now. Definitely with Warzone 1 shutting down and everyone losing their microtransactions, which I'm sure we'll get to. But I don't know. I think it'll do well. I think this looks like a type of game since it's going to be on all the consoles or whatever. It'll probably be like I'm going to predict like 300,000 players concurrent for a little while, somewhere in that range, and then it'll probably fall to like that 50 to 100,000 range, and it'll probably just float around there and then eventually die, like most Ubisoft games. That I don't know. It'll be fun for a while. Then we'll just move on to whatever comes next.
Hey, at least they did take the Tom Clancy shit off this one. Yeah, because I feel like that hurts a lot of games that they tried pushing. Because like, I don't know. What do you expect from a Tom Clancy game? You know what I mean?
Not this.
Like a deep fucking story about like interpolitical spies. The fuck does this have to do with that? You know what I mean?
It doesn't even have a campaign.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, dude. That's why I'm glad they dropped that, so maybe that will help it. But like, I mean, I don't know. I always thought the Ghost Recon rework was ass and the Division is ass.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I mean, I like Siege a lot, but I'll like Siege after this.
You're definitely a Siege kid, so. I'm excited.
Is this the game that they put out their roadmap? Which
This is
a lot of content.
Yep, they have like 12 maps or some shit, like a bunch of game modes, 4 factions. They have a ton of shit coming out in the first year.
So that's really good. Hopefully that'll keep people
which is
around,
insane.
So.
And I feel like that's one spot that Ubisoft sometimes stumbles is they put out a game and then they just like shit the bed with post-launch support, and then they go like, "Oh, the game died. Sorry guys, next game," and they just move on. So maybe if they actually support this one, like they say they're good.
They did support Siege.
They did. Like,
straight up.
Siege actually did
stuck
something.
Around.
Yeah.
So they used to even go harder on the support early on.
Yeah.
It used to be 2 operators a season. You know what I mean? Now it's only 1 operator.
That's probably for the best. You can't.
I mean, it is for balancing reasons, but at the beginning they were even going harder. Like it was 2 operators and 1 map per season.
Yeah.
For like the first 2 or 3 years, I don't remember.
Reminds me of like League of Legends when you get a new character like every 3 weeks, and you're like, "Holy!"
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. I think that's why Siege is still relevant, why League is still relevant, because these games change, the meta changes, and like you can, like I don't know, League changes every year. They even make a big deal out of it with the preseason. I don't know if they still do, but like they used to.
Yeah, they do.
And it keeps these games interesting. So I don't know how you do that for a game like this, though, where the meta is basically just being caught. You know what I mean?
I mean, they have characters that have abilities.
They do have characters.
So this is a good question for you, BHB. So when I played the last beta test, the character that could heal themselves and heal all your people around you was like, when I played ranked, if every player wasn't playing that character, you're at a disadvantage. Have they rebalanced that stuff a little bit? Is everyone still running the healer character?
Not everyone. I'm seeing like a big variety. Even when I played it last time, I didn't feel like everybody was running that character. So it's just a mix of everything. But it is annoying when like you get that character one shot, they run behind a wall, heal themselves real quick.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention is in the last test, there was a big issue with getting shot around walls, and that has been mitigated a lot from my experience with this. So that's really good because I mean it was like a real problem with the last.
The netcode was terrible. It was like
Halo. It was really bad. Yeah, that feels a lot better this time.
That's good. Perry in chat said they nerfed the healer, so.
Okay.
So we're on the same page there. So cool. Yeah, sounds good. I will say this isn't like specifically an X Defiant point, but I feel like this year, and we're seeing it increasingly with like the hype that these games are getting. People want non-battle royale shit, man. Like battle bits popping off. People are excited for X Defiant. Like I'm so sick of everyone thinking that every new game still needs to be a battle royale. Like, I'm over that shit, man. Like,
hey,
sure you can.
It's okay. We're in the extraction shooter era.
Thank God. Thank God.
No, not thank God. They're all gonna be.
It's just
Is there a good extraction shooter yet? That's not Tarkov.
DMZ was okay-ish.
I mean, that was bland as fuck. But yeah,
coming out. I played Sega's attempt. Hyenas.
It's.
I guess that one is still out for.
I illegally screen shared that one to Luke. So.
Sega's
coming. Sega's coming.
Oh boy.
But
I've got some footage on my PC if we want to look. Never mind, we can't do that.
Yeah, probably not a good idea. But you played that one. You put out a video. I really don't know how much you can actually talk about it, but it's an extraction shooter. I don't know, man. I'll shoot straight. I enjoyed my time playing it, but I also think that game is dead within 6 months. So, unless they do some massive marketing. I don't know what it's.
I think a lot of the extraction shooters will die. It's the same thing that BRs did. You remember like there was a BR game like Ring of Elysium or something.
Yeah, dude.
There was
you could like drive a snowmobile and shit.
Yep. There was another one, Isle of Nine.
Yeah.
They all died in like 3 to 6 months because
what about Super
everybody
People?
competes for it.
Hey, Super People 2 came out and then it died.
What about the culling? Dude, there's so many BRs. I remember back in the early days playing like some irrelevant like BRs too that I don't think even ever made it out of like 100 players or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's insane how oversaturated the market was immediately with PUBG popping off.
No, if you scroll
Radical
through,
Knights was another one. If anyone played that.
Yeah, that was
Don't forget the culling.
after fucking Lawbreakers shit the bed. They tried to pull the Fortnite and pivot everything into a BR, and it also did nothing. And then the whole company went under, which is kind of a bummer because like Lawbreakers is actually decent, but yeah, definitely.
I mean, you put all your eggs in one basket like that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they fucked the marketing on Lawbreakers, so it was on them. But
I'll give you an insight into the industry here as well. When you're a game developer and people say things like, "What is your unique selling point and what makes you different?" Publishers do not care. The best thing to do as a game developer is to make something that people are familiar with and a place they feel at home. Because publishers will funnel money into that stuff, which is why you get so many FPS games, so many battle royales, and now so many extraction shooters. Is because every publisher just wants to be like the one that gets the next big game that has the big chunk of the audience. They don't care if you're unique. They just funnel cash into it. They've got millions and millions to burn. So it is like the industry now is very much a 3 to 4 years of this genre. Now we're going to move over to this. I'm going to slightly tweak it, and now it's this, and that's where we are, which is unfortunate.
You know, that sucks too, because you go back to like the early 2000s where it seems like every dev was making something different, something unique to play, and no one was scared to try something different. But now it's like everything costs so much to make, everyone's scared to go outside the box, and you get so many bland games. I mean, I don't want to be rude to anyone, to the games they make, obviously, and develop, but it's just so bland. It's hard to find something really unique anymore compared to back then where it's like, oh, this game looks really cool. I think I'll try it.
But I do have to say, like, the rise of indie developers, indie studios has definitely helped out with that, though. Because like there's still tons of indie games that try new stuff, and every now and then indie games will
mainly
come in
like the
and play something
AAA
new.
games.
I mean, like the BR genre came from indie game, kinda.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. And like, or the extraction shooter came from an indie game. Tarkov for sure is an indie game, I would say. Or like, I mean, even if you count the
It is.
And like
Hunt's not.
I don't know.
But Hunt's a AAA game, but
Hunt Showdown?
It's fucking made by Crytek. That's a AAA studio.
Yeah, I know. I just hate that game.
Oh, I mean,
Most
that's
boring
fair. I don't really
bullshit
love it
ever.
either, but they're definitely a fully funded studio.
Oh yeah, but like I didn't even consider the extraction shooter. I don't know what that is.
That's an
Oh,
extraction
Fiesta.
shooter. I mean,
I think
it hits all the extraction-y boxes. Other than like, you don't really have like really much loot that there's like the guns.
Yeah,
you
you don't
pick up.
lose anything. The whole fucking point of the extraction shooter.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
all.
It's just a match with like where you kill a boss, dude.
It's like a battle royale
like
with some
elimination
PvE content in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it really is.
Yeah, it straddles the line, but also like that was well before the extraction trend kicked off. So they were probably trying to make a battle royale.
Yeah, for sure.
So and
everyone who has been making a BR is now making an extraction shooter. Every game that's like 2 years into dev and they're not finished yet, they're all going.
I just don't get it.
You mean
like,
Tatanka? Oh shit, dude! Can't wait for my extraction shooter.
Please.
I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest.
Oh, it's either
There's
not
gotta be
coming
some-
out or it's an extraction shooter. It's
There's
one
gotta
of those.
be-
No, it's a battle
be
royale.
something.
Get it right. Come on now.
Oh, that's
Wait,
true.
did you
It
not see the teaser about the
sorry,
extraction
sorry,
shooter?
guys. It actually comes out on the 27th, and it's a battle royale. Holy shit! I can't wait, dude. I'm so pumped. Yeah,
you saw the trailer?
Yeah, I saw the vertical Halo post.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
Oh shoot, dude.
Yeah, let's not get into the Halo topic.
Oh, the Halo topic is coming. Sorry, what, Nate?
I said I didn't even need to check any like forums or anything to see what that event was. You just need to look at like the graphics used in that announcement post, and you're like, oh, this matches completely with the splash screen they made for the game. So obviously, it's an event.
Yeah, it's just
It's
like
in the
everyone-
fucking blog post.
I thought it
there's
was a text-based
There's a
adventure.
paragraph about it. It's a fucking whatever. All right.
Gosh, don't get so
500
angry.
People that use Waypoint, don't, you know.
Calm down. Direct.
That's
I mean,
fair.
geez.
No one does use Waypoint. So, and this is more questions why all of our information is on Waypoint. Because clearly no one uses it. So, alrighty. Well, let's see. That was X Defiant. Jared, have you played any of the Final Fantasy game yet?
Yes, I have. Just a little bit. Obviously, I played the prologue, and then I played a little bit last night. And I'll say this: it's a very, very well-made game. The gameplay's phenomenal. Now, story-wise, and just I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out. I hope it's good. There's a lot of spectacles going on in this game, from the cutscenes and like these large icon battles where you transform into these giant monsters that have been in multiple Final Fantasy games, like Ifrit, and it's just a cool experience. Like, this might be my favorite game I played this year. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's game of the year. Like, I think Zelda so far deserves game of the year as far as I'm concerned. But in terms of what I've enjoyed the most, I have enjoyed every second of this game more than any other game I played this year so far. So it's just, I know a lot of people have been complaining about like performance and stuff. Like, 30 FPS. Does the 60 FPS performance mode really work? But it's just like, I don't know what people really expect at this point. There's clearly a limitation with consoles right now as they try to push them a little bit further. And it just seems like so many devs are slowly going back to like that 30 FPS like safety zone because they know their game can function right at that performance level. And it just seems like trying to push everything to like 60 FPS and lower the graphics down. It's becoming too much of a headache. So, I've been playing in 30 FPS on this, and so far it's been great. It's been smooth. It's been an experience. I've had no hiccups, no issues. And it's just, I don't know. It's been a pretty flawless game. It doesn't do anything like original, I would say. It's basically Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy, but it's just well made, which is something I expect from Yoshi P. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is one of the greatest MMOs ever, obviously, at this point. And so much of that DNA is in this game. Like, even in, like, the boss battles, you'll get, like, those indications like you would see in the, like, raids and stuff in Final Fantasy, in the dungeons, the way bosses telegraph attacks. And it's just, I don't know. Everything's just well done in the game. Gameplay's great. Voice acting's great. Everything's animated well. It's just one of those games where everything is done right, so you can't really say anything's really bad about the game at this point. It's just a good game. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Is it worth the perfect scores it's getting?
If I were to score, obviously I haven't beat the game. I have 5 hours into it at this point, 6 hours. I would say probably by the time I'm done, if it keeps going at the pace it's going right now, I would say a 90 out of 100 would be fair. I think that's about right, like that 88 to 90 range. Maybe a little bit higher if some things change as I play through the game, but as of right now, I would give it like a 90 just because the combat is probably the best melee combat I've experienced in a video game that's in that Devil May Cry style. Which obviously the guy who worked on Devil May Cry 5 helped, make the combat in this game. And it really is amazing. But I also see a lot of people say the combat is not very good in this game because there's these accessory items you can use that kind of function as an easy mode where like the game will slow down and tell you to hit a button to dodge attacks, and it completely like takes all the skill out of the game and makes it just kind of like a boring button smasher where you hit one button. But if you take off of all those handicaps and actually play the game the way it's meant to be played, it's really, really good, and it's really, really deep so far. So it's kind of how I'm feeling about it.
Yeah, I saw some clip of some dude just like sitting there with his controller while he's eating a sandwich, and he's just spamming the button like killing a boss or something. But yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
I was just say the game looks good. I probably won't play it, but it's good to hear that the game is turning out pretty well. Nate, do you care about Final Fantasy?
I haven't played it for a while. The last one I played was on the 360, so it was a while ago. But I did enjoy it. I just never got back into it after that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I still want to play the 7 remake.
Yeah.
So do I, yeah.
It's expensive.
Rash, you should do a marathon on stream of all the Final Fantasy games.
How long would that fucking take me?
Shit. You'll
The whole year?
Years.
There's so many.
Do we count
of them.
finals? Do you have to beat all Final Fantasy of 14 and the DLCs?
The MMO?
Oh,
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Where do we stop?
I gotta do all the raids and shit, dude. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
every raid, all the story, all the DLC, all the content, max
Holy
gear.
Lord.
Single
Okay.
live stream, you got that.
Yeah,
You
But
gotta
let's
grind
do
all the
it.
mounts.
I'll be dead.
But I mean, imagine if you did it. Like, then that's it. You've made it. People will know who you are.
I don't know.
No. The real
The
end
crazy
game of
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
guy.
14 is trying to buy a house in that game.
That is
That's a
true.
fucking
Decorate your
nightmare.
house. Make your house look sick. That's a
Oh,
fucking.
Lord.
That's a fucking insane one. I remember, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about Final Fantasy 14. Dude. The game is old as shit,
Alrighty.
but I love it.
Should we do the section that will make Luke fall asleep real fast? Get it done with?
Oh, God, jeez.
All
Let
right,
me
we're-
take
do
some.
it.
Yeah, we'll do. All right, Nate, I'm sure you've probably played it, but Halo Infinite Season 4 came out a couple days ago. I have admittedly played too much of it. It's why I have not played fun games like X Defiant. I wanted to play a game called Trepang 2 this week. I probably butchered the pronunciation, but I haven't had time yet. Because I've been playing Halo Infinite Ranked Team Slayer, so it's becoming a problem in my life. Season 4, I'm not going to go through the whole list of content. I think everyone knows what's there, what isn't. I'm
Go
just going
through
to...
the whole list.
Well, the whole list is there's 2 maps, an infection, and some new cosmetics, so there you go. That was quick. And a career rank. All right.
Don't forget the
Hey,
Forge
new
update.
equipment.
Oh, there's Forge updates. Yeah, I've heard the Forge updates are really good, but I don't actually open Forge, so I wouldn't know. But okay, here's the thing: is the season decent? Sure, but just feels like another Halo Infinite season. Infection is fine, but it's way too late, and it's just infection. This isn't an infection mode that should have taken 18 months. People turn red. They open some parts of the map up. It has some voice lines, but I don't know, man. The new maps. I haven't played Scar very much, the BTB map, but Forest looks sick. It feels like if you tried to make Sanctuary and then just failed. That's what it feels like when I'm playing it. So. The gameplay,
Not sick.
yeah, gameplay wise, I don't think it's great. It's fine. It just, I don't know, looks pretty, but it would probably, if you ranked all the Infinite maps, it's probably mid tier. So it's not the worst map in the world, but I don't think it's amazing or anything like that. Jared, how you feeling about season 4?
It's Well, like you said, it's another season. I do really like Scar, the big team battle map. I think that might be the best big team battle map they have now. Like, obviously I need to play it more, but the only thing I don't like about the map is it has this problem where like all the players fight towards where the hammer power weapon spawns, whatever it's called on that map, like the diminisher of hope. And it's like everyone goes that way, and then there's this whole other side of the map that just goes unused. Like no one goes that way, hardly ever. I don't know why no one goes that way. Like a shock rifle spawns over there. I flank over that way all the time, and it works great. But it's just like everyone goes to the other side of the map. I think mainly because there's a lot more cover that way. So it's kind of like they made the map in a way where it just pushes everyone to just kind of tunnel through where all that cover is, and everyone just fights over there in this like open area where the shock rifle spawns and there's this grav lift just go untouched. It's like it oddly the map kind of reminds me of Meltdown from Halo 4. Like it has like that weird same feeling about it, even though it's a lot better design wise. Like it looks great and I think it plays really good. Like the spawns don't feel like bullshit on that map. You know, you're not getting spawn trapped like on high power or any of the other maps, but it's just I don't know. It's a good map. And saying it's the best map out of the BTB maps is still not saying much about Halo Infinite. It's just because all the maps are just okay for the most part compared to past Halo games.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. Nate, how you feeling about season 4? What's the consensus? Have you put out a video saying it saved Halo yet?
No, I did the opposite.
Come on now.
I got my most popular video over the past few months by saying Season 4 Infection sucks. But the next day, I made another one saying, does it suck? Yeah. Which I got another video out.
So here's the thing. Does it actually suck, or is it just like not? Like, do you actually think it's a bad game mode, or is it just not anything special?
I think that with Infection, I think it's very divisive now. I think it's very split down the middle. There's people who prefer like the Infection Classic from like the Halo 3, Halo Reach, and there's people who like the takes that 343 have done with not just visuals but also the gameplay things like the super speed for the zombies, adding the equipment for like the alpha zombies. They have the I forget what you call it,
Quantum
the shroud screen.
Oh, they
yeah.
They also have the shroud screen.
Yeah. Yeah, some people feel like it's, again, 343 making change for the sake of making change and trying to innovate. But then there's some people who think, it's actually good. It's split in the middle. I played it a couple times again, and I did actually kind of enjoy it. But really, like the summary I have to give is this is still stuff that should have been in the game at launch. Like, we can't be giving medals for stuff that's being added 18 months after the game is released. Like, we can give you a little clap that you finally added it to the game, but like ultimately, this should have been there at launch. So like, good that you got it out, but now you got to get back to work and you got to start adding new things, and just keep going. Like, you can't stop. You just got to keep on doing it. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and you mentioned how it should have been there at launch, and some people would say to that like, yeah, we get it. It should have been there at launch. You don't need to keep repeating the same thing. But it's like that's still relevant today because they're still adding things that should have been there at launch. So of course we're going to still, talk about it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm seeing some people say this is a good season for Halo Infinite. Some people saying it's not. I don't know if it's on par with the amount of content that other games get. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But other games didn't launch as broken and as incomplete as Halo Infinite did. So of course people are expecting more, and like you mentioned, you're not getting credit for the fucking career rank and Infection. Like, I'm sorry that you don't get credit as for like, that being seasonal content when that should have been there at launch. Absolutely, especially something like a career rank. Yeah. And people are justified in feeling like this amount of content is not enough for Halo Infinite. Because again, of the way the game launched and the fact that this stuff should have been there. But I also understand from 343's side, like, yeah, it might be the things that they need to do to this game, the amount of content that they need to add with these updates it might be unrealistic for them to actually achieve that. I get that, but I think that's just the reality of the situation. People are justified in expecting more, and then it also makes sense why 343 can't meet people's expectations with the amount of content. But I mean, that's just the situation because of the way the game launched. And another thing I want to point out is, I see these comments from people talking about like, oh, you hashtag fire 343 people, you can't complain about this. This is what you asked for. You're not allowed to complain. The hashtag was fire 343. It wasn't nerf 343 and have them keep working on the game. So like, no, that's not what the hashtag fire 343 people were saying at all. So no, fuck that. They're absolutely allowed to complain. Jesus.
You mean
what are we talking about?
They didn't want to take the company that was already underwhelming and then get rid of like 2/3
right?
of the workforce?
Yeah, exactly. Like what?
Yeah. No, I pulled it up there and then I moved it and now I lost it. But the podcast guest himself, Waffle, did a little graph here comparing the average season length of Halo Infinite versus like all of the main competitors. Dead last. So we love to see it.
It's almost doubled some of them.
Be long as well, right?
What's up?
The current season is long again, right?
Yeah,
isn't it
sure
like
is.
a month?
Yeah,
It's
it goes
it's
till
100.
October 17th.
It's basically 4 months instead of 3 months. So they even
Wait,
after
it's still not 3 months?
no. You missed that.
What? Dude, I don't know. What is the season 5 or 4?
4.
Dude, what the fuck? Whatever. I hope this is the last season because like everything.
All right, so
The
that's,
first
five, man.
that's
I sympathize with 343. Like, people think that we hate on them and that we like dislike Halo. That's not the case at all. We all want Halo to succeed, and we're just sad that it's in the state that it's in.
I mean, I
Like-
don't even blame the individual devs. It's just such a mismanaged mess. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
obviously that there's no fucking like main vision, like a main guy that like pushes people in a certain direction. It's just it's just mismanaged, and it's frustrating to see.
I think there might be
Because-
now, but it's too late. And it's
Yeah.
too
No,
little,
yeah, it's too late already for this game. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't mismanaged, they would have either delayed the game until all this shit is in the game that people expect at a launch, or they would have fucking just had the game ready after 6 years of development, right?
Yeah.
I think they
But,
should have just released the hero shooter, honestly. You know? Fuck
Yeah.
it.
I mean, that would have
Of
been
course.
better. I don't know.
Well, see, that's the interesting part. Like Nate said, he with Cross Planet, they decided, right away, like, hey, we're gonna go a different direction with this game. Where 343, God knows when they decided to do that. 2 years in, 3 years in, like, I don't even know what that'd be like for you if you guys decide, hey, you know what, Cross Planet, like 6 months ago, all right, guys, we're not going to do a first-person shooter. Let's go third person. I'm sure that would have just been an absolute nightmare trying to get things switched over to that.
We've discussed it as well. That's a conversation we've actually had. Because many people said, why don't you do first-person camera as well? And we looked at it and we were like, that alone is going to add like 6 months to the dev time. So the amount of changes that 343 went through with Infinite, yeah, like Halo Infinite, if you look at it from the point where they finally figured out what they were going to do with this thing to where we're at now, is probably like a 3-year development cycle. And then there's 3 or 4 years of what the hell are we doing with this project? Like,
Also,
is it a hero shooter? Is it a battle royale? Is it whatever?
the engine, I think, is a big thing too, right? Because who the fuck learned the slipspace engine? You know, and who are they gonna hire to work on the slipspace engine without training them? There's not people, but
Yeah.
like if they switch to something like Unreal, or probably the best option is Unreal. Like you can constantly hire people, which would work well with the fucking Microsoft bullshit they're doing with the contractors, right? So like I don't get like who the fuck makes these decisions? They just seem so illogical to me. You know, and you have a company where like you want to exploit the workers, you want to keep them on contracts, keep cycling them out, right? Just put it on an engine where you can hire people, and to do that. I
Yeah.
don't know. But that
No.
probably like fucked up development for like years. You know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if the next. Fucking. I guess two things. What do you guys actually think is the last Halo Infinite season? Because I feel like there's been an uptick in people saying this is the last season, and I don't think I agree with that. But It
No,
definitely.
I don't think it will be the last season. I hope it will be the last season.
I think there'll be
I
one
don't think
more.
it is.
I don't
think
feel
it
like
is
there's
at
a
all.
ton more in the bank though, because like, so at some point you have to like fucking just cut it, right? Because a season like this, infection, new maps, career progression, it still like. Granted, this is just Steam numbers, but like it didn't even hit fucking 10K. Like it,
It's
people.
half of what
I don't know what
season.
you're talking about. There's like
There's
88,000
Xbox,
players.
yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Someone told me there's
Mhm.
80,000 Xbox players, but
Totally, yeah.
Oh, there's 23,000.
yeah, that's probably about right. So it's just like at some point, I mean, I guess there's less devs they're paying now, but like, does it even like make sense to keep going? Like,
I mean, maybe
Maybe
they're
they'll just do what they did with MCC. Like a small team will continue work on Infinite, and everybody else goes and works on the next thing.
yeah,
So seasons will end up being 6 months long.
Yeah, 6
instead
months
of-
long, and then have like armor sets, and that's it.
yeah, literally
Yeah.
armor sets.
Because like MCC didn't add any new content, right? They just like
Not
ported
s-
some old maps
yeah,
and
yeah,
like some
well,
armor.
yeah. They added recon. Basically, all the new content they added
Oh,
was reused
sure, they did add
assets.
recon, so I give them that.
Yeah,
But like, that wasn't even 343? Wasn't that outsourced?
I thought most of MCC was. So
Well, the PC fix.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know who did that for sure, but I don't know, man. I
The
don't
big
even know
play
how to
was
feel
just
about.
add, mod support to Infinite and just let it run. Just let the community take over.
Yeah, but the problem
Yeah,
is,
but
it's
people
like,
don't care because like there's mod support for the greatest Halo games already, and that's like probably as big as it's gonna get, right?
Yeah.
Which it keeps people around. It seems like the Steam numbers.
I
for
mean, yes, that's what I'm
MCC
saying, but like I don't think infinite mod support is gonna outweigh Halo 3's or Halo Reach's mod
No.
support when those games are infinitely more popular.
Yeah, I think you're building off a nostalgia there, so you can like make a campaign remix for Halo 3, and people are like, "I fucking loved Halo 3. Now I can play Halo 3 with X change. Hell yeah!" But like, you could make like if someone made those campaign rebalances for Infinite, I would never open them. The thought of replaying Infinite's campaign, like I just fall asleep a little bit.
I mean, you
So.
can't even probably select the levels, so I don't know.
I think you can now. They added that, so
I thought you had to be in the
I
like
don't
it's still
fucking
on the map. You can't just like
I
be
haven't.
main menu. You want to play this level, right? You
I
have to
haven't.
have like
I haven't relaunched it.
yeah.
So I
It's
don't.
just like in your
didn't-
save
you
game, you can
didn't-
just travel to the points.
You
of
didn't
the-
check it out with the addition of Mission Select? Are you kidding me?
Oh no, I forgot.
Feed-
And they had
oh
a
my
co-op. I
God.
didn't even play co-op, dude. What am I doing?
Mission Select was huge. Oh.
That was a live service feature that got added to this video game. So
Imagine they like showed that at like a Xbox showcase. Mission Select coming to Halo Infinite, you know? Imagine.
Yeah, that's the
That'd be
thing.
so good.
Mission Select is missing. What the fuck are you doing? Like I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's
I'm surprised the
that's
game
wild.
even had a main menu, dude. Probably
Right?
forgot about that. It was probably like something they added the last day.
no, that's probably why the main menu fucks my CPU because it runs the whole goddamn game. Every time I'm in the main menu, my fucking CPU fan sounds like it's going
they
through the roof.
probably never had anyone on main menu duty. A day before release, they realized, oh shit, we don't have a main menu. Fucking someone stays up for an hour extra and fucking makes the main menu. That's probably what happened.
But at least the store worked on day one.
Oh, thank God.
It did not. I remember, like, you couldn't load into the
Oh,
fucking main menu a lot of times.
The UI just doesn't load half the time.
Yeah,
for
and like
sure.
when the UI doesn't load, the story doesn't load. I remember that was a big issue. You had to restart your game like 3 times.
Yeah, you're right.
So like, not even that worked.
There
I
was a
don't know,
couple
dude.
times where there was a
Still
couple
takes a while
times.
to load.
There was a couple times right when I got on the game, I went to the store and it would just crash my game immediately. So
Yeah,
that was,
The game crashes still to this day too. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
The
Halo
game
Infinite-
crashes in when loading into campaigns. still.
Even if I wanted to play Halo Infinite again, like I don't know that I could, get by the UI. Because if it crashes, like I'm done. Like I ain't trying again. Like fuck that. What are we
Well,
doing?
and there's still weird glitches going on. Like the Chimera core in the game, I can't edit mine anymore. After this update, that core is unusable. I can't select any armor parts. It's fucking
Perfect. dude.
ridiculous.
Oh man.
That's great. You love to hear that. But yeah, I don't know. That's season 4. There's the event coming up that people think is a battle royale. I'm not going to get tilted about it again, but I don't know why people.
No rush. Let the hate consume you.
No, it's too much.
Wait,
dude.
how do we feel about no more narrative?
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
Who cares?
I don't give a fuck, but
Yeah. It was a waste of time when they did them. So like, a
I
waste
had-
of money.
I had
I
heard
didn't care.
some rumors that they were working on like basically like Spartan Ops type shit. Like you'd get a cutscene in missions, and I thought that was cool. But
that would even be worse, dude.
Well, but
Spartan Ops.
if they're cutting cutscenes, like that must have been a fake rumor. So don't think we're getting those without.
Obviously, it was a fake
cutscenes.
rumor. There's no real Halo rumors. There's nothing planned
That's
for this
true.
game. I don't know.
Yeah, there is. There's season 5. It's coming. two
Sure.
more maps,
Okay, prediction. What's gonna be in season 5?
2 maps and
2 new maps?
assault.
On a Forge canvas.
Nah, it'll be 2 dev maps, an assault, and
Forgeable AI.
maybe. I mean, they said they're working on that.
I mean,
That
they could just. I don't get why the Spartan bots aren't just in the Forge AI or Forge menu.
Yeah, Perry. They've been saying firefight since like day one, man. I won't believe that shit until I launch my
That's
game up and I
another
can
thing.
load it.
There'll be firefight.
That should have been there on day
make
one.
it.
Oh, that's true. They had the AI. You could just make it yourself, I guess.
Planet will have firefight before Halo Infinite.
Yeah, Forge is so great, guys. You can just make it.
Oh shoot! All right, let me. Before we move on, I just have to do a little rant about fucking Rank Team Slayer because I don't know how they fucked up like the one playlist I looked forward to, man. All right, so I love Rank Slayer. It's great. So the settings themselves suck. We'll talk about those in a sec because those are up for debate. Some people probably like the team assault rifles. Day one, if you finished your placements, it just put you into silver or gold. And if you remember, last season they changed it so that you no longer match off hidden MMR. You match off of your CSR. So you know what that means. Anyone that waited fucking placed straight into diamond. So they just skipped all the fucking ranks. Meanwhile, people that finish their placements have to shit on actual gold and plat kids for 100 games. I have played 70 fucking games with an 80+% win rate as a pretty average player with like a 2.5 KD. This is fucking dumb. Like we get a stake-tacular like over half the time. It's such a stupid and then Toshi's like you'll rank up faster. It's like, well, I mean, if I shit on every person I play, I will in fact rank up faster. You gain like 15 CSR because it's the max, and you lose like 2. It's even if you lose, it's irrelevant. It doesn't even count. Oh my god.
What happens when you finally get to like a higher rank and the game goes, this guy is insane. Look at his KD. He's got a 105 game win streak. It's going to put you against Lucid.
Yeah, I don't know. So like last night, granted, I have been 4 stacking, which helps. But last night I played from the time I got on until I went to bed at 2 a.m. I lost 2 matches the entire night. I'm not like a good Halo Infinite player. I shouldn't be going like 25-2 in a night of Halo ranked. Like that is insane. And over like out of all those games, probably 3/4 of them weren't games. Like I would fall asleep holding my controller, holding up in the right trigger while we beat a team 50-25. and like throughout the whole night we were cycling people because people kept just going to bed. They got so bored they just went to bed. Like,
well, this is the sad part. The best match we had was against each other.
That's true. We did at one point when I was 4 stacking, I matched Jared and his friend. But no, it's like actually insane. And I don't know. So to me, they know there was a bug. Why would you not reset it and just tell people like, hey, we fucked up. We're resetting placements. Just replay them. This will help you because you don't have to grind through gold. It'll place you into your proper rank. But instead, they're just like,
people can't go that far either. It was one day.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. The first night I was like barely into plat, and that was after playing the whole night. So like you wouldn't have gotten that far. And instead, I'm not going to guarantee it, but like some of these people that I've played against, we'll play the same people multiple games in a row, and you go pull up their tracker over like a 3-game span, they'll have 4 kills. They'll go like 4-60. And and they're just going to quit the game. They're just going to not play the playlist. It's going to die. And then we're going to get a blog post 4 months from now about how Rank Slayer didn't have longevity and that's why they're not bringing it back in season 5. And it's like,
we'll bring back attrition to replace it instead.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh god.
Rank survivors,
That's
baby.
the worst part. Like that's why they should reset the ranks. It's like, do you want to kill off what's left of your population? Like, who's gonna come back after losing by 35 kills? Like, it just, I don't understand it.
No, and at first I was like, this is fun. because I was like, you were just shitting on kids, right? Because you are playing other than the occasional time that you match another person that ranked lowly, you are mostly playing actual gold and actual plat players, which like, not to like be mean, but like they're just worse,
suck.
right? Yeah, but like, dude, after like a couple hours of that, it loses all fun. Like you realize that holding forward and shooting people with an assault rifle really loses its mojo after the second hour.
And don't forget, like, our team matchmaking, like team composition, whatever rank is like 1800, right? And then we're going against people who are 1000. So it's just so ridiculous.
The game still shows you your average team MMR, which would be based off your hidden MMR. I don't know why it still shows you it. So like last night we're playing, it's like me, Jared, and a couple of our buddies, and it says our average is 1800, which would be like 1800 Onyx, and we would shit on some kids, and you'd go look it up. There was one team we beat that wasn't even 1000. They were like 950. They're barely plat players. They're like gold players. It's like, who is this fun for? And on top of that, they're also like solo queue. So it's even fucking worse. It's just 4 fucking solo queued gold kids going against players that are like way underranked because the placements are all fucked. It's insane. I can't believe they wouldn't like reset it or do something.
Is the regular Team Slayer playlist still in the game?
Yeah.
I think many people just go back to that. I don't think the population is going to be too good for the ranked Team Slayer playlist.
And I guess before we move on, so it's Bandit AR starts. It's the least of the playlist issue, but those suck. I don't know if you've played much of it, Nade, but like in my experience, it's 80%. It's 70% use your assault rifle, 20% use the sandbox, 10% use the bandit rifle. Like the bandit rifle just can't compete with the assault rifle, so it ends up just being team ARs. But yeah. All right. Well, that's season 4. Any final thoughts on Halo Infinite?
No.
All right. Perfect. Okay. We will now talk. We can talk about. Let's talk about Warzone. Fucking Activision shutting down Warzone 1. So, I can't remember when exactly, but maybe a month or so ago, they rebranded Warzone 2.0 just to Warzone. So that probably should have been the sign to us that this was coming. But today they announced formally that they are shutting down Warzone Caldera, which is the original Warzone 1 completely. So all the microtransactions and all that stuff will be completely gone. But I think what the weirdest thing is they're leaving up fucking Blackout. You can still play that. You'll still be able to play that, assuming you can find matches. But, like, that will still exist. But Warzone 1, the Battle Royale that came out 4 years ago or whatever, 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, will be completely unplayable. Probably because it has the same name as Warzone 2. But I don't know, man. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, with Blackout staying up and Warzone 1 getting shut down, maybe that's something to do with maybe Blackout uses more resources or something like that. I don't know. But I see a lot of people complaining about Warzone 1 getting shut down. Well, one, because people liked Warzone 1, but also their microtransactions. They spent money, and now they're not going to have those. And like. I mean, like, I understand, like, I forgot what my thought was. Shit, what was I going to say? Damn, I'm drawing a blank. But I don't really sympathize with the people that are, complaining, that they're losing their microtransactions here. They spent money. And, I know what I was going to say. It was that, I think it is kind of scummy on Activision's part that they did rebrand it as, like, Warzone Caldera. And, people probably hopped back in because of that. And then they bought these microtransactions, and now they're shutting it down, or they announced they're shutting it down a couple months later. I do think that's kind of fucked up, but at the same time, like I was about to say, I don't really sympathize too much with the people that are spending their money on microtransactions because, I mean, you're supporting a shitty system, a system that many people don't like. So, I just don't really care a whole lot about that. And those people that spend a lot of money on microtransactions are obviously the reason we keep seeing developers implement this system, because people buy them. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I feel attacked because that's the monetization method we're going with.
I mean, well, it's no secret. I mean, it's no secret that a lot of people don't. A lot of games do that, like you mentioned earlier. But I mean, a lot of people also don't, like the like microtransaction. I mean, that's no secret.
Yeah. I think I'm one of those people anyway. I think I've kind of expressed my hatred towards mostly the pricing of it. Because you used to buy a full game for the same price of like 4 skins.
Valorant skins
I
are
don't know.
cheap, dude.
Dude, the bundles are like $100+ sometimes.
Yeah, some of the
Hey, guys,
some
I
of those
do-
prices are ridiculous.
I have to think there must have been like the NFT bros like arguing again that NFTs would fix this or some shit.
I
I bet there was
blockchain.
debates
If
like
this
that.
was on the blockchain, we
if this
could
was on the
keep our
blockchain, you
skins.
could have kept the skin. Hey.
Fuck, dude, they were
That's
right all
that's
along.
Totally,
Oh
that's
my
totally
god.
how that
Dude.
works.
NFT Bros
Shit.
win today, dude. I was gonna transfer my Caldera skins to Apex Legends with the
I'm gonna put them on
blockchain.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the anime skins I bought in Warzone in the blockchain, dude.
Yeah, I think so. I get your point, BHB. Like, one, when you buy these microtransactions, like, at some point the game is gonna get shut down. It's just a matter of when. Like, no game lasts forever. Some games last longer than others. It is a little scummy to rebrand it and then shut it down.
Yep.
But to me, I just think the weirdest thing is, like, what the fuck is Activision doing? Like, you have all these Call of Duties that are fucking unplayable because they're hacked to shit, and you'll get your PC hijacked on if you play on PC. All of those games you can still pay for and play, but the perfectly playable Warzone Caldera gets the server shut off. Like, someone make it make sense. Shut it all down. Like, why is there a bunch of shit that doesn't work? But the thing that people were still kind of like, some people still played Warzone. Like, it still had, we don't know the numbers, but it still very much had a playable player base. Like, nobody was complaining that it was dead. So that gets shut down probably because it competes with Warzone 2, while all these broken games that just steal your money are fucking, they're still there, still in the Steam store.
That'll be it. It'll be like cost to run versus revenue it generates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they see more people are spending money on microtransactions in Warzone 2, not so much in Warzone 1. So
yeah,
force them into Warzone 2.
Yeah, which would make sense because you're not
And
putting
a lot
in...
of those people probably will. They'll they're upset about losing their skins in Warzone 1, and they're gonna go to Warzone 2, and they're gonna go buy more skins. So like, I don't care that you lost your skins. Fuck you. Like.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
You
like, you buy a
skins in
skin,
games.
you'll lose the skin eventually. Unless it's Counter-Strike, but like...
Well, even then,
you know.
technically, we could have lost them. We got lucky. CS2.
I mean, they make so much money.
Yeah.
point.
I think we knew they were going to find a way to bring them over,
Yeah.
but just imagine the shit show that would have happened if those didn't transfer. Holy moly.
And spending 240,000 on a skin for your sniper, then it's just
Well,
gone.
I feel like it would have just been like more of like when back in the day people were hesitant to switch over to the new Counter-Strike, which is also something they fixed with this, and they probably knew that, like, you know what I mean?
You just
People
force
were
people
hooked
to
on
switch.
CS 1.6. People didn't want to go to CSS. People didn't
Yeah.
want to go to CSGO. And like, if they now CSGO was popular, and if they do it again like they did with CSS and CS1 tried to force people into a new one, you know what I mean? A lot of people
Yeah.
would have just stayed on CSGO for a long time.
So I feel like when the game comes out, CSGO will be a separate application. Or do you think it's just going to straight update?
I think it's just gonna straight update.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know if CSGO will keep existing.
I guess-
don't think so.
Well, you're right, because how could it? Because the inventory transfers over. So, like,
Yeah.
they're not going to keep supporting those skin models in the old game. So, yeah, you're right. It'll have to.
Yeah, no, it'll just be an update, and the original CSGO will be gone. I
Yeah.
mean, the original CSGO is already gone. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't play Cobble in competitive anymore. So what the fuck?
The original
Point of it.
CSGO is great, dude. We should go play the 360 version to remember it.
Can you still?
Probably not. I don't know.
Damn, I'd be down. But...
All right. Final thoughts on Warzone? Anyone? Going once? Twice? All right. We love Call of Duty. All right. Let's see. I played a little bit of the finals again. It came back into beta. I think it already closed, maybe, or is closing. But the
Are you
finals
saying it
is-
was the final?
it's
day?
the finals beta.
Mhm.
I will say, so we talked about it a little bit last time it came out, and I wasn't a huge fan. They did improve it a lot. Like, it feels a lot better to play. It's more responsive. The movement's better. The aiming is better. The time to kill isn't 10 years long anymore. They reduced it to the point where it's still long enough that I like it, but it's not like you have to put multiple clips just to kill a single person. So it's solid. I like where they're going with it. I just don't know if that game mode really is enough to like actually get people to play a video game. I don't know. Have you guys played the finals recently, or did you play it last time?
I played it last time. I haven't played the recent one, which is a shame because I didn't like it. So maybe I would have preferred the changes like you.
Well, what didn't you like about it?
Well, one, I'm a controller player, and they didn't have controller support, so that was like a big thing for me. But I understood, obviously, with it being like early access.
Yeah,
stuff. So
that I'm not sure on. I don't know if they have controller support yet. They probably do. I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah,
but
it's probably pretty much the same stuff. I feel like the kill time was pretty long. And I also just like I didn't really understand what I was doing half the time. Granted, I didn't look at any of the tutorials or things. I think there was one in the menu. I kind of breezed over that, so I probably should have looked at that. But I jumped in and I was just like, "What am I doing?" And I also feel like they kind of oversold the destructible environments because I was trying that stuff and I was like, "Okay, the corner of this building is blowing off," but like in the trailer, the full thing just crumbles down.
That was a Watch Dogs E3 trailer moment.
Yeah.
But the game looked way better.
Yeah, because in that trailer, you're right. Like the whole ass fucking skyscraper comes crumbling down. You're like, this is insane. And yeah, you can blow off like walls or like a corner of a building, but it's not. I mean, there is destruction, but it's not. It's more like interiors and exteriors, but like the frame of the building still stays.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So they're working on. I'm a little interested because the Embark is the company making that, and I don't know how big they are, but they're also their extraction shooter is going into beta soon because you can sign up for it. Escape the Ark, and I have no clue what the fuck that is supposed to be other than that it's an extraction shooter. But I don't know how they're developing two FPS game, the Escape the Ark is third person, but how they're developing two full games at the same time, and like it's from a brand new studio. They must either be really big or these games don't have as many people on them as I think they do. I don't know. It's interesting.
Didn't they get Microsoft money, or is it?
No, their shit's published by Nexon.
Yeah, but like, isn't something about the new Ark? Isn't it an exclusive for the Xbox? Or
Oh shit, is it?
Stupid.
It could be.
I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering.
No, are you thinking Ark 2? Or no?
Yeah.
That's
Is that Xbox PC? Yeah, it's an Xbox exclusive.
Well, Ark 2 is a different game. They're making something called like Escape the Ark or something. It's like
Ark Raiders.
Oh, is it
Ark
fucking
Raiders?
Dino
Is
game?
that what it's called?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ark Raiders. You're right. It's Ark Raiders, not Escape the Ark. I apologize. It's a PvPvE extraction shooter for PC and consoles, is what their Steam page says, and you can sign up for the playtest. But yeah, there's not really much out on it besides like a. Oh, is this a closed alpha trailer? Oh shit! All right, let's watch this. This is gonna get the video demonetized. I didn't think about that. Oh well, the $1 we would have made.
Rush, can you do the voices? Because we can't hear them.
You can't hear it? That's okay.
I mean,
yeah. It's all right. There's been nothing of note in the sound.
I have an ad on your stream. I have an ad on your stream.
This looks like I don't know. This
is this Starfield?
No, this is Ark Raiders.
I know. I'm just.
All right. Well, that's a video game. This trailer showed me nothing. Okay.
That looked insane.
Yeah, I
When's
can't.
it coming out?
Yeah, I want to buy microtransactions.
The closed alpha is June 29th, so make sure you sign up, guys. Coming soon. Playtest. I've requested access.
That trailer reminded me of I forget the name, but there's like the most wishlisted game on Steam that like all their trailers are like pre-rendered
or no something like that.
The day before.
The day before.
Yeah, that's it. That's what that trailer reminds me of. It's just a guy slowly walking around these what are probably very small environments made to look nice, but you go beyond that and it's just flat terrain and nothing.
Oh yeah.
It looks very, very early.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll see in literally 7 days what this game is. So it'll be another
We're gonna run really badly as well.
yeah, it'll be another extraction shooter for the pile of. I've been working on a video about extraction shooters, and I was trying to I went through like the ones that are out, which there aren't very many. There's like Tarkov, Hunt, if you consider it a extraction shooter. There's that shitty The Cycle Frontiers game. There's like the First Division had this survival mode called what's it called off the top of my head? Fuck. Anyways, the First Division had an extraction shooter mode.
What about Rainbow Six Quarantine or whatever?
Isn't it just called the Dark Zone?
You're right. I think it was called the Dark Zone. Luke, that was some shitty PvE fucking co-op shooter.
Wait, there was an extraction shooter.
Oh, you're right. It did have the word extraction, and it was a shooter. And they've already cut support, so it's going pretty well for it. But yeah, so there's like those games. There's Marauders, which is like really small on Steam. And then I was like looking through all the list of shit that's coming out, and there's so many. And like a lot of them, like you guys said with the BRs, so many of these are just going to be dead within 4 months. Because it's like, what is this one doing that Marathon isn't going to just kill, you know? Or like, what is this one doing that, I don't know. I'll be interested to see, well, one, if the extraction shooter genre even actually takes off. To me, like you said, all the publishers and the stuff are kind of are pushing it, but when all the publishers started pushing BRs, I feel like we had seen actual success from a BR. And besides Tarkov, nothing extraction shootery has taken off. It's all really niche. And DMZ,
Tarkov has been like out for like 6 years.
Yeah, Tarkov's been out forever. And DMZ tried, and it like has a player base, but like I feel like it just has a player base because it's in the COD game. Like I don't think those DMZ kids are launching up the Cycle Frontier to play the next hot extraction shooter.
Yeah, I do hope the Marathon one will be like the best one.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's hard. Probably the best.
If it's anything like DMZ, I'll probably not like it. But
yeah, I mean, I've played a bit of the Dr. Disrespect one, and honestly, like what I've played of that one isn't bad, but it's also like really far out. There's no way that's coming out anytime soon. They actually have a new snapshot coming out in July, I think. So
I want to play this one.
Yeah, you should. I think the last one you had to pay like $15 to get in, but maybe this one will just be open. But no, I enjoyed it, but it was like the aiming and stuff still felt kind of funky because it was like, you know, pre-alpha. But in your mic, there was no way to turn it off. It was just pure open mic, which was fun because like everyone was talking, but also it was like I'd be streaming and you'd be like talking to chat and you'd just hear some dude like, "Oh, I hear you." And you're like, "Shit." Or like you'd run into people and you'd have to like sit there like, it was actually kind of fun. It was like I had a ton of fun because
there was promo ever. Everyone's just be asking like, "Oh, do you stream?"
That's true. They'd be like, "Oh, who are you streaming?" You're like, "Yeah, don't come find me." But, yeah. All right. What other games or things have you guys been playing? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Perfect.
The game 6 Days in Fallujah or whatever.
Did you actually play that?
Not yet. No.
Are
but
you
like,
gonna? I've heard terrible things. I've heard it's like really jank.
Really, the Steam reviews are good. So
really? All right, fair enough.
What's going on here?
You've heard it's really what?
No,
I've heard it's jank.
Well, it might be. Yeah. It is an early access game, but I remember that game was controversial, and it's interesting that it's out now and nobody's talking about it. Or like compared to how big the controversy was.
Yeah, it's been in development forever. So maybe some of the jank is just old like ness, you know, that's carried over. But yeah, I mean it's controversial because it goes up. I don't know. It's like war crime shit, isn't it? I don't really care.
No, I mean kind of. I don't know.
Isn't that what the controversy was though? Like it was like glorifying war crimes.
I mean, I don't know if they consider war crimes. So I don't know what that is. Or no, sorry, what happened here with the war crimes? Because I don't think they like. I don't know. I thought they just like took the city or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, Perry said it was covering a recent war at the time.
Yeah, I think that was more controversial.
Oh, I got you.
But like, I don't know. How many movies are there already based like There was a 9/11 movie like a year after after it happened. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
so normalized.
It does have positive Steam reviews, but it also only has 1,000 reviews. I feel like that's pretty low for a.
Yeah. It does not have a shit ton, but like,
Yeah.
it's
Like a
interesting.
peak of 8,000 players too.
Yeah,
It does cost $40, so.
it does. Yeah. But
Uh,
I don't know. I just found it interesting.
Yeah, no, it was on my list of things to like try, and then I just hadn't had time, and maybe
The $40 are.
yeah, this is something that I think maybe I pick up when it's like $5 or $10 and try it out. I don't know if I care because it's just a single player thing, so I don't know if I care enough to pay full price for that. Is at least that's pretty sure it's just single player. Oh, it's co-op also, but yeah, so I don't know how that did come out. I also played a bit. This is like a couple weeks ago now. I played a bit of a game called Friends vs. Friends. Dude, it's so much fun. But unfortunately, like I just never had time to play more of it. And basically, it's an FPS mixed with like a card builder. And so you either play 1v1 or 1v2 or 2v2, and you build your deck, and your deck basically has like power-ups, debuffs, and guns, right? And so each round you like draw your cards, and then the round starts and you can like play your cards as you're going. So you have a card for like an AK-47, so you use your AK-47 card, your guy pulls out an AK, and it's just you win the round just by eliminating the other team. And it's pretty fun. They have like a variety of different maps. They have different characters that have like, they don't have ability, they have like different they're like slightly different. They don't have like a full ability set or anything like that, but they basically have like a different, like each character is like a little bit better at something. Like the guy that I was playing at the time did like extra headshot damage or something. So stuff like that. It's honestly pretty fun. I don't know if any of you guys saw this or played it.
Funnily enough, I actually know the guys.
Oh really?
They were opposite us at a gaming expo this year. They were exhibiting the game, so we went to a gaming expo in the UK, and they were there. I didn't speak to them for long. Just like the basic, like, "Hi, I've seen your game on Steam and the YouTube trailer." Blah blah blah. Personally, it's not for me, but yeah, I knew about them for a while.
Yeah, that's cool.
For me, it's too I don't know. It's too like eye gouging. It reminds me of like
Looks like
the Borderlands style. Yeah. It's too colorful for me. There's too much going on. I feel like I get a headache. I'm old now.
Dude, it takes me back to something I wanted to say earlier about when we were debating like the graphics of BattleBit.
Yeah.
Because like I don't like the games that look like BattleBit, but I also don't like the games that look like Borderlands.
There you go.
Same.
Luke only likes games that look like Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, or League of
He
Legends.
only likes Rainbow Six.
That's
Or
true.
Hearthstone.
That's he likes hard. Dude, this has cards. But yeah, so I
Oh,
saw.
wait, it has cards.
Yeah, you build a deck.
Can you open loot boxes for them?
You open packs, but you can't buy the packs in game. You have to earn or with real money. You have to earn them.
Damn.
But yeah, I haven't checked back in. It was doing okay when it came out. It does cost money, so obviously that's gonna hold it back a little bit. I saw they have like a whole bunch of release content planned, but I imagine it'll most likely just be like a small little shooter that hopefully made them a decent amount of money, but I don't think it'll be anything massive. I will say like it one problem that I had already faced, and this was like right after it released, was there is a check mark in the menu that you can basically do like level based matchmaking, and that's really important because as you're higher level, you've opened more card packs and your deck is stronger. And this game does that thing where like, let's say you have X AK-47 card, right? Well, to upgrade the AK-47 card to make it do more damage, you have to get 5 more AK-47 cards, right? So just purely by opening more packs, even if you use the default cards, they would be stronger than someone who just started the game. So you could do the level-based matchmaking, which would usually play you against people like close to your level, because I was like level 15 or something. But then sometimes you'd load into a game and there'd be a dude that was like level 60 that would just rinse you. Not only because he was better, but it also just seemed like he had just had better shit. And that was a little bit unfun. And that was a problem I had like when the game was probably at its peak. I can only imagine that will be more of a problem as the game goes on.
Yeah, isn't
Is
that
this
what
game-
Star Wars Battlefront 2 got in the doghouse for? Like initially?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Is this game out or is
Yeah,
this like a?
it's out.
Okay.
You can buy it
Came
on
out
Steam.
at the end of May.
Yeah, I think it's like $5 or something. It's pretty
Does
cheap.
it have a decent player base? or-
Yeah,
Here we can
it's
look.
$10.
Oh, it's $10. I think I bought it for $5. It was on sale.
Ah,
Let's see. Steam DB Friends vs. Friends.
What we looking like?
It is, as of today, 500 players. The peak was about 4,000.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, investigating the
That's
guys who made it, they've made so many games.
Yeah, I did look at. Well, the publisher makes a fuck ton of, or publishes a ton of stuff, but has Brainwashed themselves
Yeah.
made? Oh, they made a good amount of shit.
Yeah, the publisher Raw Fury have like 37 games
yeah,
on Steam.
they've
which is-
published a lot of indie stuff. There's a whole bunch of things in here I've never heard of. I don't know if there's a single game in this list that I've heard of before.
No,
There's
I haven't heard of
there's
any
a
of them.
lot of them though. That's for sure. There's 2 pages. But that was a game
Some of them are okay. Like some of them have like overwhelmingly positive reviews and things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's some that have pretty good
Ah.
reviews.
Then you get the ones that have like 14 reviews that clearly didn't succeed. But
Yeah, I vaguely remember Bad North. I remember like seeing coverage for that when it came out. I never played it, but I like remember hearing about it. But yeah, Luke, you've been playing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, so why don't you tell us about your experience?
Yeah. Hey, at least it wasn't Black Ops 4.
You've been
No,
playing Infinite Warfare? What the fuck?
Yeah,
What, the
man.
campaign?
no,
Everything.
They tried to play
I, mean,
multiplayer.
I heard
Did
the
you guys?
campaign was good.
Did you guys ever find a match?
Some nights we did. Yeah, some nights we did.
Oh, this is for a video.
There was that one night where we just couldn't find one, and we already had like.
Have
done a
you
bunch of
ever
shit.
have you ever considered not searching at 6 a.m. for matches?
I mean, you'd find lobbies early in the morning. I mean, 6 a.m. is 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. on the East Coast.
Sure, but that's definitely
what I
not
mean?
the peak time for NA.
No. The worst time is like I'd say after midnight till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I
And
think your
then
best bet would be like
those are the worst
midday,
times.
wouldn't it? Like, because then you could catch the
maybe.
EU,
Yeah, I mean,
EU
yeah, I
players
guess
at
so.
night, and you could catch the daytime NA players. But yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time. But
Mm-hmm.
what's the Infinite Warfare experience like today? I mean, I watched the video, but I don't know if people in chat
Fine.
did.
I mean, like I don't know. I didn't think it was awful, or it was like as awful as like the hate it got. But I mean,
Hmm.
it also got the hate because it was just the third one that did this shit.
Yeah,
Or yeah, so I don't know.
Infinite Warfare has zombies, right?
Yeah, the zombies is very good too.
Yeah, that's the only Infinity Ward game with zombies.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be. Wait, Infinite War only made 2 games by themselves? 3 games made by themselves, right?
By themselves? I don't know.
Yeah. I think they only made this and World War II by themselves, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, World War II was Sledge.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Sledgehammer.
yeah,
Was it
Advanced
Vanguard,
Warfare and
maybe?
World War II.
Maybe it was Vanguard. Did they make Vanguard?
I thought
I don't remember.
Vanguard.
Trey? I don't know. I don't remember.
Did they?
They all blend
these
together now.
these days, it's all like intertwined. I feel they all work on all of them.
Yeah,
but
like
back then,
like Treyarch might help out with the zombies on a Sledgehammer game, something like that. Yeah.
I got them confused. I thought they were the other studio. Never mind.
Were you thinking Sledgehammer?
Oh, no. Maybe?
Bungie?
No.
Yeah, wait, who
Sledgehammer
made
made
Advanced
it on-
Warfare?
on-
Who made Advanced
Sledgehammer.
Warfare?
Sledgehammer.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking of Sledgehammer. Never mind.
Sledgehammer made that in World War II, and then Waffle said they
Okay,
also
so
made
they only made
Vanguard.
2 games by themselves. That's what I was thinking. Okay, that's Sledgehammer then.
Yeah, Infinity Ward. I was a little confused because I was like, Infinity Ward made a lot of games.
No, they made
like-
Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, I
they
was.
made COD 4. They made MW2.
But they just have 4 studios, so it's so fucking confusing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
They have Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Infinite War, and Raven Software now, and it's just like, so fucking.
Since I
Yeah.
brought up zombies, I did want to mention it is kind of crazy that all the Call of Duties we've had, we never had a zombies mode in a Modern Warfare game, which is something I wanted way back in the day,
Well, that's
playing
what-
zombies in
That's why we had Spec
in-
Ops.
We did have Spec Ops. So.
Spec Ops was not a good alternative to zombies at all.
It was. There
I know
at
some
times.
people liked it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that wasn't
True.
zombies at all. Well, survival was more their attempt for Modern Warfare 3. That was more of like a horde mode. But no, I mean that shit ain't got nothing on zombies.
No, I mean I agree with you. I was just being a
Yeah. No,
So
right.
what you're saying is they need to do a Call of Duty that's an extraction shooter with zombies.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
that would be perfect. So actually,
You could have the freaking box around the map. Everyone's fighting over to get the coolest weapons, and
that made
might
me
actually be fun.
That made me think about something. I saw one of the DMZ YouTubers earlier today tweeting about how like he wished that there was like confirmation or confidence that DMZ was going to be like a thing of the future for COD. Do you guys think DMZ is something that continues on, or do you think it'll just be like a flash in the pan? They threw it out in Warzone 2 and eventually it just kind of goes away.
Yeah, I think it's just that. Yeah, I think it might. There's a good chance it's just a Modern Warfare 2 thing, and we don't see it in future games.
So like when
Could be wrong.
When MW whatever the fuck comes out this year, whatever they call it, do you think they'll still support DMZ, or do you think it'll get the act like? I don't think they'll delete it out of the game, but I wonder. Do you think it'll?
I don't know, dude. They call it DMZ Caldera, and
That's
then
true.
shut it down.
They might support it for a little while and then just say fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even really. I don't keep up with it. I don't know how much attention it's getting now. I think it gets some updates.
I mean, it gets all the new maps. They did every season. It gets updates. They usually revamp some stuff. They also added all those pay to win bundles. Like basically, you can play as a guy that spawns in with a UAV. So that's pretty nice.
That's crazy. Like
that's a real question. There's the longevity. How many of these players are buying microtransactions? That will tell you if it's going to get a sequel.
I was playing DMZ with Kevin and someone else, and the other dude had the UAV character, so it was pretty convenient. We had free UAVs. I didn't buy it because I don't give a fuck, but yeah. All right.
I would usually think when games introduce pay to win like that they're desperate to get money out of the mode. So I would say it's not like that popular.
That's a good
They're
point.
just milking it because they know they have to.
It's possible. Or there's so many players, they're like, this is free money.
Maybe.
All right.
But then if they have so many players, they can just make a cool skin and people will buy it. They don't have to like
That's true.
attach something to the.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we talk about our favorite topic a little bit more? And that's
We already talked about Halo.
No. Well, okay, true. But this is the ongoing streaming war. Obviously XQC signed a kick for 100 milli. Dr. Disrespect said his price is 50 mil. That's also the price that BHB quoted for editing a video for me. So basically on the same level. BHB's been doing some YouTube streams. I've tested Kick. Luke doesn't ever stream anymore. Nate, do you ever test streaming stuff out?
I used to. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I used to stream more than I did YouTube. But I just think that content that lives on a platform forever is much better than a live stream that dies after 60 days.
For sure. 100%.
Move to YouTube.
No, that's without a doubt. I mean, you have much more.
That's why I put more time in the YouTube. Yeah.
Is it?
What?
Is it actually?
No, yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
No.
Yeah, because like you live stream and it just goes away. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can make content from it, but still.
Yeah. I feel like it's so hard to. There's obviously like huge YouTubers that literally just pull their live streams and turn those into successful YouTube videos, but I feel like that's so hard. Like, you basically just have to be a massive streamer, or.
Yeah, like you got to already be a big content creator to do that for the most part. Like it's hard to really grow doing that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Depending on what you do, maybe you do something really unique, like play, all the Final Fantasy games in one stream, something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Let's do a race, Arash.
No, thank you. I did a kick stream the other day. I was playing the finals, and I was streaming the finals on Twitch, maybe like 20, 25 people. Swapped over to Kick, and I averaged 60 viewers the whole night despite not a single person talking. So I think Kick is legit. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my ego was through the roof. I was a full-time streamer. I was ready to go. Unfortunately, no one new followed besides like the few people that watch from Twitch. So I don't know what was going on there, but there was a lot of lurkers. So pretty.
Yeah, the viewer count's weird on Kick, and opening multiple tabs adds to the viewer count. I do know that. So
yeah, I watched multiple 300 view streamers with no one talking. Like I actually obsessed over this. I kept going from stream to stream. I'm like, someone's got to have an active chat. And I had to scroll all the way down to the VTubers. They have active chats compared to everyone else. Like, they legitly have people watching them. I don't know what's going on everywhere else, but it's just like, man, like how I seen a person with 2,000 viewers and there was 2 people talking. Like, this is
right.
That seems legit.
And they're like, oh man, we're popping off, and thanks for everyone watching. It's like, man, how many tabs do you have open? Like, what's going on here?
The bots they're going ham that day. No, and for me, it's like I know when Kick first like started doing stuff, people thought that everyone was like rampant view botting over there. I don't think it's the streamers. I think it's the fucking website. Like, I think I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just like they count viewers different. Like you said, you can like multi-tab and they all count, or if it's doing something weird where like maybe it's counting people in the directory into streams or something. But yeah, seems like there is a lot of non-engaging viewership over on Kick. And but hey, they're splashing money. Amaranth is over there now, so you can get all of your hot pool tub action in one place. The Kick. Not that Twitch is like overly amazing, but the Kick hot tub there's some stuff in there with the with the less regulation.
Hey yo,
fucking XQC was streaming Breaking Bad the other day, so the platform's doing well. The platform's
tried
doing
to stream Batman as well, didn't he?
Yeah, they shut him down real fast.
That's insane, dude. Well, and his contract's weird too because he's not even exclusive to Kick, so I think he could literally, if he wanted, just toss up a Twitch stream, not at the same time, but he could literally take his 100 mil. I mean, he probably has like requirements he has to hit, like certain amount of hours or something. But
like I mean, like it's smarter this way because like you see the exclusivity deals didn't work out for Mixer, right?
Yeah.
They'll never work. And like if they're relevant on Twitch, they'll also be relevant on Kick. Like
yeah,
you're not cutting off one relevancy, which will hurt them as streamers.
Yeah,
so I think this is smarter.
Yeah, I mean,
like, and if Mixer did this, maybe it would have been different.
Well, and see, that's the interesting, right? Every time XQC streams, he starts on Twitch for 20 minutes. He's like, all right, guys, we're all moving over to Kick now. Yeah. Come on over to the party. So I think it's a really good idea, and it's just going to kind of come down to as they sign more people. If you get enough big people over to the platform to where a viewer will watch one streamer, and when they get offline, they'll migrate to the next streamer, then you start building a community where if you just sign 2 big people like Mixer did with Shroud and Ninja, you know, they get offline and they're like, well, fuck, there's no one to watch now. We're done. We're gone. So I think Kick has a lot more staying power than Mixer.
My biggest problem with Kick, and like you said, maybe if enough people come over, it'll fix it. But like as a viewer on the platform, not as a creator, it's just a shittier platform. Like not because of moderation or anything like that, but it's just Twitch but with less viewer features and obviously like less people streaming. So it's like what I've watched some Kick streams. Like when I see someone that I know streaming on Kick, I'll open it, but I still don't go over there to like browse the section to be like, oh, I'm looking for not a Halo stream, but I'm looking for a BattleBit streamer. Like, let me go over to Kick. No, I just go over to Twitch and I get my Twitch drops, dude. Gotta get my purple BattleBit skins, you know? And I saw Trainwreck saying that they're working on drops for Kick. They also said they were working on like a TikTok style algorithm for clips. So how's that one coming along? So I'm sure someone's working on it, but like I think Trainwrecks might just throw shit that they're working on out way too soon. But like when are these features like actually coming out, you know? But I also like the social media guy for Kick. I mean, they're doing numbers, but I feel like it's a little weird that every fucking tweet is just a shot at Twitch. Like, I get it. That's
Wendy's approach.
Yeah, it's the viewer base that you're trying to steal, but like, I don't know. Can't you like Be like, hey, here's a new feature that we put in, but they can't because they don't do that. They just
this is kind of funny too because they were making jokes, right? Since Kick is giving money to Amazon to run on the whatever servers that they're on, and they said they just threw it towards like Train, like, oh, you know what? Maybe you guys should just buy Twitch, just merge the two, and bam, there you go, problem solved. They're like, hey, who knows? Maybe eventually.
That's how Steak is gonna get back on Twitch, dude. They're just gonna fucking buy it. All right. Any final thoughts on streaming platforms? All right, perfect. So we have a few viewer questions. In the future, if you want to submit a viewer questions, I'll put out a tweet day of the podcast, and you can submit them there. And assuming we don't get too many, we'll answer them all. Currently, all the questions are pretty memey, so it'll take like 2 seconds. So, guys, waffles or pancakes? This is important. You have to answer the question. What the fuck?
It is absolutely.
I'm
pancakes.
thinking, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Absolutely.
Hey, I gotta think
I had
about this.
pancakes today. So.
You had what
Oh,
today?
fuck. Get
I had
off the
pancakes
stream.
today, so I have to choose
You
pancakes.
traitor.
It's a very
I'm a
hard
waffle
choice.
guy. Waffle, ice
Oh
cream on
my
top, and some kind
God.
of berry sauce.
What a-
Yo, I don't
I'm
think
ready.
I can pick.
What about chicken and waffles, though? That shit's pretty goated.
Ooh,
That's also
Never
that's
had it.
disgusting.
What? All right. Anyways.
What?
Waffles are some sweet shit. What the fuck are you putting chicken on there?
That's pretty good. Here's a picture from Nade eating both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Pink Knight asked, nuggets or tenders?
Nugget.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
nuggets are tenders, just cut in half.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, all right. And Semper asked, when is Elder Scrolls 6 coming out?
I already
Fucking
responded
20
to that.
Did you? Before Fallout 5? That's solid. That's solid. I like that. All right, there was one other question. This one's specifically for Nade. Someone asked, who is your favorite dev?
It's dilute, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've already. I can't. No.
That's a
Not allowed to do it. I can't have favorites.
All right. That's fair. I think with that, the podcast is over. Thanks for watching. The VOD will probably be up tomorrow if you missed a section. Otherwise, please follow. We now, the BXR podcast now has all its own socials. So it's got a Twitch account, or not Twitch account. It does not have that. It has a Twitter account, a Instagram account, and a TikTok account, and a YouTube account. Yeah. Follow all of those. I post things there. And yeah. What are you guys up to? Nate, what are you going to be up to in the near future?
In the very near future, I'm going to go to bed because it's 4:30 a.m. for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then after that, just still working on Cross Planet. We have a ton of new game modes and maps and stuff coming for the playtest, so just finalizing that stuff. Very busy few weeks ahead. I think we're going into a playtest with like 10 maps and like 15 modes,
sounds
which
fun.
is pretty good.
Yeah,
Which is probably more than what Halo Infinite launched with. So
I'm pretty sure it is. All right, Jared, you're working on Final Fantasy review. Anything else?
Outside of that, at some point I'll be streaming again whenever
I think you've been
is
saying
fixed.
that since we started the podcast. So.
I know. I'm trying, but yeah, Final Fantasy review. Fuck, there'll be some other shit coming, but yeah, the usual.
Mr. Pop Q, you're a streamer again. Anything else?
I'm a streamer. Get 2 days in a row. Are you proud of me?
Both days I tuned in, so yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. I might stream some X Defiant again tomorrow. Probably gonna do a video on it, and then for once this open beta ends for X Defiant, I plan on playing through the old Bungie marathon games.
That'll be fun.
Doing that, checking them out, making a video on them, and yeah.
Luke, how's the life of a Halo YouTuber?
I wouldn't know anything about that. Call of Duty videos though. But yeah, I don't know. I'm working on a video right now. I'll come out tomorrow. It's like a long 40-minute video.
Oh, there you go.
So we'll see how that does. Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough. I think that'll do it for the podcast. I have a video coming out next day or two about season 4 and how much I love it and how it saved Halo. And then after that, we'll go back to making good videos again. So I already have a script written for a video all about extraction shooters. So
Perfect.
that'll be after that. The live service video that totally flopped has picked up. So You know, I'm pretty happy about that. That's the
Did it
benefit.
really?
Yeah, it's over 10K now. So
Oh shit!
it's moving. It's moving. Now I just need the Xbox video to pick up. That hits 10K, then I get real happy, and then I do a little dance. You know. But all right, that is gonna end the podcast. Jared, do you want to play Ranked Team Slayer?